Welcome everybody to the first episode of the new year, episode 38. Woo! Yay! Today we are talking about Rust.
Looking forward to it, dude. You know, we're going to go into this conversation with you as a veteran of the game, and me as someone who's never loaded up the starting screen. And exciting. We're back to doing podcasts, dude. I'm feeling a little bit rusty, so why don't we get into this?
Whoa.
All right, see you later, dudes.
Welcome to Hotfix, the weekly podcast that dives into the fascinating world of streaming, gaming, and esports. With your hosts, Brant Vladichuk and Jeremy Kelly.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hotfix Podcast, episode number 38. We are back. It's a year, and that's it, dude. You know, I thought about in our little break that we had. I thought about I was just watching other YouTube videos and going like, at the end of our videos we do the please like, comment, subscribe, blah blah, algorithm. That stuff, right?
Yep.
And then I was like, man, a lot of people do that at the beginning of the video.
I mean, that makes sense.
It does make sense.
You expect someone to sit through half an hour of us talking and then give them the call to action?
But at the same time, who's using YouTube in 2021 and doesn't know that if they like the video, they should probably hit the like button? Like every video they've ever watched for the past 12 years has said that. So
believe it or not, there's still data that supports just having that call to action does make a difference. Even
that's
today.
Amazing. That is amazing. Well, we said it at the beginning, so all that
follow,
stuff.
Subscribe, and join the Discord. We'll remind you again at the end.
Smash that like button, and your screen shakes it's like bang energy, and your screen rips in half. That's the kind of thing
that I want. Shove a bunch
of
bang energy and beat pound that like button an even amount of times.
Throw your bang energy at your mouse, and hopefully it clicks the subscribe button.
Also sponsor us, Bang Energy. No, just kidding.
Imagine. Sin. So we are talking about Rust. It seemed like Twitch seems to go through almost these metas, doesn't it?
It really
where it's
does.
The PUBG meta, and then it's the WoW Classic meta, and then it's the whatever Among Us and Fall Guys meta, and all these kind of things seems to be what happens. At least what's happened in the last year or so. And right now we're in a Rust meta, it seems.
And I couldn't be happier. I think Rust is one of the biggest slept on game.
And you've been saying that since I met you.
Yeah.
That's one of those games that when you and I were getting to know each other, you're like, this game is sick. And you've been playing it since forever, right?
Yeah. I've well over 1,000 hours logged in Rust. I'm no professional, right. But I've paid my dues a little bit.
No, for sure. Yeah. And I said, you've been saying that for forever, and it's just all of a sudden it's Rust is the thing now, and I was like, fucking Brant, dude. He's gonna be so excited. It's the only thing that would make you happier is if Halo becomes big again.
Just wait till now that Halo Infinite's gonna be on PC. Just fucking wait. There's gonna be a solid 6 months of nothing but Halo on Twitch.
I think it guaranteed that will be the Twitch meta for the end of next year if it comes out.
Unless it releases absolutely garbage, which I don't think it will. But if God forbid,
Lord
it does,
help me. Please, Lord help me.
Please. No.
But yes, so Rust happened to fall into this new Twitch meta. Again, we'll use that term, I suppose. Before we get into the actual game, because again, I don't know anything about it, but it was curious to see. And from my understanding, this became the thing because a bunch of big streamers got together and got their own server, and that's all of a sudden people started watching it, and we all know that if enough big streamers play the same thing on Twitch, then all of a sudden that game is the most played game in the world, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So, what's the story behind that? What is it, OTV server or something?
Yeah, the offline TV house. They so I think what happened was it got popular. I think XQC and started playing it, and somebody else and it got popular, and then I think that's what triggered the offline TV to create the server, because it's really hard to stream and play Rust. It's a game that's really easy to stream snipe,
Right.
if you don't have your setup done right.
I gotcha.
There is like streamer mode and stuff, but you do have to do some work in OBS to make sure, you bind your G key, which opens your map, to like show an image so you don't show the map, because as soon as you show the map, like, someone in chat's gonna be like, oh, that's the map on so-and-so server, and a few other things. So it's always been like an issue with Rust streamers is getting stream sniped.
Gotcha.
So, and I could be wrong here, but that's why I think the OTV servers opened just so the streamers could play on it.
And so OTV is what?
Offline TV, OFT, whatever the abbreviation is. Offline TV is like a streamer house. They they have a big house
where a bunch of streamers live,
and where a bunch of streamers live. Yeah.
Okay. And who are these? Like, I'm assuming they're big streamers. So it's like a bunch of random hands or whatever.
Well, I believe it's like Pokimane and them.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so
let me double check. Like, before I embarrass myself here, let me just. I don't want to say a bunch of names that are on the top of my head and then be like completely wrong.
Right, I got you. No, that's fair.
But we have the power of the internet right here. Current members: Scara, Pokimane, Lily, Lily Pikachu, Michael Reeves, Disgusted Toast. I don't know who they are, but the big ones are like Lily, Pokimane, Scara. Okay. Michael Reeves.
Well,
as well.
I didn't know that was a thing that existed. That shit is weird.
Even there's been so much like drama with like people like getting relationships in it, like cheating on each other, getting kicked out. Like there's been so much drama in the like. It's almost like Big Brother. And like they used to have like they'd do live streams like on the offline TV channel, or like in the living room, and there'd be like cameras set up. Mm-hmm. It was like totally Big Brother for a while there.
Dude, I'm not tapped in enough to the Twitch community to like know that this kind of stuff. Like there's such a deep like the deep Twitch users, you know what I mean? Like they must live for this kind of stuff. Like who the new member of the house is and who's moving out and why and who's dating who and who's mad at each other and all this kind of thing. It's like that's insane. Okay, so this house created a server, and then because it's like a bunch of big streamers, then they would reach out to your Summits and your Shrouds and your whoever, and they would all get together. Then all of a sudden you have 50 big streamers on the one Rust server, and between all of them there's hundreds of thousands of people watching, and therefore a large percentage of those people try Rust, and all of a sudden Rust is gigantic again.
I mean, essentially. Again, I don't know if the offline TV server existed pre or was created for exactly what's happening. So I don't know, maybe someone could correct me. But I believe it was created to make like a place for all the big streamers to stream without getting stream sniped constantly.
Right. So that became a giant thing. And then from that giant server, there's like this whole drama storyline reality TV show stuff started happening, I suppose. But within the game, as opposed to like, hey, I'm dating this person that used to live in the house and now whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's like stuff in the game, like other big streamers were messing with other big streamers in the game or something. Is that right?
Well, that is Rust. Like, I don't know what it is about Rust.
Fair.
You can be the nicest person in the world, but as soon as you start playing Rust, like it changes you. You just want to go around and killing and murdering as much innocent people as possible. You want to go ruin people's lives.
Because every character in the game is an actual person. Is that right? Or is there NPCs?
There's NPCs at monuments.
Okay.
But like it's
gotcha.
They're not everywhere. It's like there are NPCs, but like they're dumb.
I got you. So the idea, it's like Rust is a survival game again. So I don't know shit about this game, but it's a survival game at its core, right? That's the idea.
Yeah.
And then every so often there's wipes that flattens everything.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah. So it's all independent server based. Like there are quote unquote official servers, but like anybody can start a Rust server. And as like a Rust server owner, you can determine when you want to wipe. There are what's
Right,
called forced
yeah.
wipes, is when Face Bunch like puts out a like an update. There'll be a forced wipe, and it's
Yeah.
it'll always land on a Thursday. Thursday is usually
Right.
always wipe day, but most servers are like 1 week, 2 week, or like a month.
Right, so it's only like at the most a month of actually playing for you to get as much shit as possible and like dominate that server, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea.
Yeah, a month is like 2 week is probably my favorite. 2 weeks.
Yeah,
feels
because
best.
that's long enough to actually like get some sick shit and like actually build up something serious and like defend it for a couple of days, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and also like the population will fluctuate throughout the week, and it's just throughout the wipe, and it's way too spread out during a month. Like wipe day is the busiest, and like
Right.
a week after wipe day is like the prime time, and then the following week is gonna be a little bit slower, and just like the more kind of I guess hardcore people are there for the rest of the week. On the month servers, like the last week on a month server is like it's a ghost town.
Right, I gotcha. Yeah, for sure. How many people are on our server?
Again, that can be set by the whoever owns the server. I
Right,
play
okay.
on about 250.
That is a lot of people though, and the map is sizable,
Yeah.
right? But that's still quite like it's not. It must not be uncommon to run into other people, I suppose.
No, you're always running into people, and depends. Like, so the map is like tiered. So you have like tier 1 area, tier 2 area, and a tier 3 area. All the really good players are going to go to the tier 3 areas.
Is that just has higher resources, etc.?
The better monuments spawn there, and the better resources. It's also going to be way more rich with PvP. Usually day one, day one in tier 3 area, like someone's going to have a full base with AK-47s.
Right, I gotcha. Okay.
It's hardcore. If you're like newer, you'd like go to the like tier 1 area, live in the forest, and like you might see 1 or 2 people if you like really, really try to seclude yourself and build away from all the monuments and stuff.
I gotcha. So so it's if it's a week or 2 week wipe for most, then it's like even these big streamers on their own server, like they're not all just going to sit around and do nothing. Like they're going to go mess with people. But then I'm assuming someone messed with someone else, and then they like took it personally and got like salty about it, right?
Oh yeah, and like that's the thing. Like you can spend, and it's happened like with me playing. Like we'll spend a week grinding, and there's like luck to it as well. Like when you go and raid a monument, like there's RNG, and you might get some really good shit, and you might get really lucky, and you like get all your loot up, and you sign in the next day, and your base has been broken into, everything's stolen, and they might leave you a note being like saying everything or saying exactly who it was so you can have a personal vendetta. And like the more like once you play on like the same server for a while, you know the people that are there, because like the same people tend to stay on the same server,
right?
So it'll turn into, and like the behaviors are usually always the same. Like I always, with my buddy, we always build in the tier 2 area around the same monument. And for the longest time, like this other duo also did the same thing. And we'd always see them, and we'd always build beside each other, like without coordinating at all, but it just always happened every wipe. And be like, oh fuck, forget his name now, but like there's a guy, and it'd always be like a fight with them every time.
That's amazing. Are the maps randomly generated, or are they the same every time?
Yeah, random every time. Except there's oh my god, I forget the name. The Happus maps. There's a map called Happus. So if you're looking through the server list and you see Happus, that's the same map every time.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So like the whole idea, like it's just there's something about it. Again, you only have like 2 weeks to kind of get your shit. So if you're playing, you're going to seize any opportunity you have, I suppose, right? Because in 10 days, it doesn't matter anymore because it's all wiped.
Yeah, there are aspects that transcend the wipe. So you have the map wipe.
Like blueprints, right?
Which is the blueprint wipe is usually longer than the map wipe. So yeah, that's what makes it really fun. So like say it's a blueprint and map wipe. We'll spend that 2 weeks building up our blueprints. Like that's all we're focusing on is farming. We're getting all the good stuff, and we're learning as much as we can. And then it wipes, and then the next wipe, I think, what was it? About 2 weeks and then 2 months for blueprints.
Right. Okay.
So then, yeah, each wipe, we'd have a plan depending on like which wipe it was in the blueprint wipe cycle.
No, I gotcha. Okay. No, that's sick. And like, so you get blueprints for like everything from like a bow and arrow to like a helicopter.
Bow and arrow is a default, so you always have that. Helicopters can't be crafted.
Okay, so I was completely wrong.
You have to find them or buy them at the outpost.
And what do you get in blueprints then? Like walls
higher tier stuff, like better clothing, better armor, better guns. Like you have to get the revolver as a blueprint, which is like the lowest tier gun. Like the SAR is a blueprint. And of course, you have to find these and have possession of them to actually be able to learn them.
Right.
So
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No,
okay. So why Rust of all the survival games? Like, there's other survival games that are really popular. At least have a high player base or had a higher player base. Like, why do you think Rust is the one that, like, Fall Guys and Among Us were unique games and easy to run? We had the conversation about easy to run before, but Rust isn't necessarily a unique game, is it?
I would say it's very unique with how the survival aspect is actually set up. I can't okay. It's kind of like Ark or the Conan game in a sense, but just the like the ability, like the free building ability that they've set up, the teamwork ability. Like, I don't really know how to explain the differences, but like I would say it is unique in its own way. 100%.
Okay, so there's something either refined about the gameplay loop that makes it easier to get sucked into, I suppose, than something like an Ark, I guess. And
then the development has been active for years. Every Thursday has been an update with content for years.
Right, so they have good community relationships and that kind of stuff.
And not to mention, it's created by the guy that created Gary's Mod, so
Right. Yeah. No. Fair enough. Fair enough. No. That's
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. The man has experience.
With sandbox games, like he knows what he's doing, and then the rest of it is where the game is today is because of the community feedback.
And has it changed a lot since like you started playing?
Yeah. Like right now, I'm a little bit like behind on the meta, but it's completely different.
Right. Okay.
It's constantly changing. There's like monuments have puzzles, there's monument puzzles and stuff that I haven't bothered learning. The buddy I play with all the time, he has everything memorized to a T when we do monument runs. Like the meta changes like every 2 weeks.
That's sick. Yeah, I'm excited. Like I think like we're gonna play this week so I can like actually see what all the fuss is about. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I have like other friends that are playing it too, and it's just like, man, people are like really taking it seriously.
Yeah, like there's nothing better than once you get past the initial, like, because just for some backstory, you spawn with nothing. You spawn on the beach with a rock completely naked.
Right. Yeah.
And then by the end of the wipe, you have like you've created like a crazy base. You have cars. Like they added a car system recently, so you can build and craft like modular cars, and it's so cool to just like roam around the map in an armored car. You just like jump out and you're like pop, 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 like popping naked dudes. Like
that's awesome. Yeah, that's sick. No, it sounds super fun. I am excited. I wonder, like, that's always the wonder with these games, I suppose, is how long does that hype last, right? Like, and it's you still see, we've been talking about this it seems like for forever now. It's like why is there never anything new that's coming out that like can do this? Like, not that right, like Fall Guys, I guess technically was a new game, but like it's so simple in its design. It's not, you know what I mean? It's I think it's just different in that way. But if you're at Rust and you're at WoW Classic and you're at Among Us and you're at these games that have been out for years and years that get popular, like CS:GO still being so popular, it's amazing that still no one has put out this like just phenomenal thing that takes over the world of gaming. It's so strange. It's weird to me that it's still a thing.
Yeah, it's like really good AAA developers don't want to take the risk of making something like a Rust.
I guess that's what it is, isn't it? It's like for something to get so big, it has to be something unique enough that it did take a giant risk, and big developers aren't willing to take those risks, right?
Yeah.
It's like the games that get gigantic by accident, almost.
And like I would imagine like a big AAA developer and their publisher, and you see this all the time actually, like they don't like the Rust server software, like anyone can download and make their own server.
Right.
I just don't see that happening with a big AAA publisher giving that software for free. It would be like Minecraft Realms, for instance. Like you can download before Minecraft was owned by Microsoft. Like you just download the Minecraft server software, and that was a big reason why Minecraft exploded. Was just everybody making their own custom servers, the incredible mod support, blah 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 blah. It's the same with Rust. Like anything where it's like has incredible mod support, has great server support, like usually is going to do really well. And then when Microsoft bought Minecraft, they started Minecraft Realms, so you can go and pay Microsoft X dollars a month to have your own server hosted. You can still do a custom Minecraft server, fortunately, but I'd imagine if like a AAA publisher or developer released something like Rust, I have a hard time believing that they would just willingly release the server software into the wild and be like, anybody can make a server.
Yeah, I would say you're right, because there's no like if you're making like Elder Scrolls 6, there's no reason for Bethesda to give you the entire engine and everything that they built the game on, right? Because then someone's going to make them look stupid.
Exactly. But can you imagine if Elder Scrolls 6 like released? And they don't have to release this. Obviously, like it's not releasing the source code or anything. That's all safe still. But like, release custom server, custom mod support for games that are multiplayer.
Yeah, that's the thing. The multiplayer. I was going to say, I guess at least with Skyrim and Bethesda games, they do have mod support. So that might have not been the best example in the world, but
the mod support, like people made Skyrim multiplayer with the mod support.
yeah. So, like right.
They're going to do it. Like just let them do it and like make your game as big as it can be. Like you might lose a couple dollars, but it's going to be a big game.
Well, it'll be a big game for longer, and that will allow more copies to be sold in the long run, even if you're losing a fraction of that to whatever the modded game ends up being, right?
Yeah, and then you never have to take the official servers down.
True, yeah.
Because like if you've locked your servers behind being official servers only and you're not releasing the server software, as soon as you take the servers down, you stop selling the game. But if, there's custom servers all over the world, you never have to take the officials down, and people are going to continuously buy the game to play custom servers.
True. That's there's the argument for. I mean, there's an argument for both sides, I suppose. But the argument for allowing mod support is, you see success stories kind of everywhere, don't you? Mm-hmm. It's sick. I'm
literally the reason why Minecraft became the best-selling game in the world.
Right. Yeah. Without mod support on Minecraft, I guess it would have kind of
without
died
modding,
super
without
quick.
custom servers, like it wouldn't have gotten nearly as big as it did.
It's like it blows me away that Minecraft is the best selling game ever. That's just like insane. I mean, it's not. I mean, the game's great, right? For what it is.
Yeah.
That's a wild concept.
Yep.
Man, I wonder how long this does last. Just like do we? And I guess I guess maybe more so just get curious as what the next thing is going to be until that next big game comes out, because it seems like maybe I'm ignorant to how many other like long-lasting old games are around, but like Jesus Christ, dude! What's going to be what's next on the block? You know what I mean?
No, truly.
I don't. It's a really wild thing. So what is it that got you in? Like, why is it with Rust that you had kept, like, why do you keep going back?
It's so hard to explain because like I was so hesitant to play it at the start as well. I think everybody is. That's why I say it's like the biggest slept on game, because you hear the concept, you hear people talk about it, but like nothing really drives you to play it. It's like, oh,
Right.
yeah, I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try. It's like, oh, whatever. I'll give it a try. But I don't know. I can't really explain it. Like, it's just, it doesn't matter what mood you are in for playing a game. It can be satisfied with Rust. If you want to be fucking Shroud and slay everybody on the server because you're the best PvP person in the world, you can go and do that. If you want to set up a shop in the woods selling nothing but bread that you're baking, you can go be a baker. There's a 2-month period where all I did was open up like a shop selling weapons and stuff because I didn't want to do anything else except for just sell stuff.
Right.
Like, I was bored of doing the other things, so I just was a shop. Like, I just had a shop going for a few months.
It's amazing. Like, that's so funny. It's like, but at the same time, anyone could just shoot you and take all your stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then like, there's one wipe we're like, okay, we need to do something like really fucked up. So we like joined up with one of the bigger clans on the server, and they like, it gets like real deep. Like, we didn't really join up. We like had an alliance with one of the bigger clans. There's like 8 of them. But when you get to that size, like there's people on the servers that want to be your like quote unquote slaves, that just so they could have like, it's almost like people want to RP being a slave, and they literally just go out and farm stuff and give it to you.
Okay.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
So you join up with like a big clan, and you have like 3 or 4 people that are just farming for you without nothing, like, literally wanting nothing in return. Maybe a little shack beside your fucking giant ass castle. And we built like a wall, like a huge wall around a monument, and we owned like a part of the map, and it was just nonstop PvP and like invasions for the entire wipe, and it was like crazy. And then we like pissed off the clan, and so they wanted us to get out, and like it was a whole like shouting match. We're like in our house in their complex, and they're like, they thought we stole something from them, but we didn't. And so there's like 4 of them with rocket launchers and AKs outside, like, fucking give us our ship back. You got like 4 seconds, or we're blowing your whole base. And we're like, dudes, we've done nothing wrong. We've just been chilling here. So it was like a 4-hour like shouting match and like fighting. And then like we ended up blowing a wall like of our own base and like escaping out the back and just like piecing out there with everything and like in the darkness, and like jumped over the wall because they cleared all the codes.
That's sick. It's like, I guess now I understand. It's like you can kind of just write your own story with it, right?
Every wipe you write that's the best. You write your own story, and I have so many, like every 2 weeks you have a brand new story, you have a brand new narrative. Like, it's a new wipe. What are we doing now?
That's so sick, man.
And like,
I'm sure this gets done, but like, what great YouTube content to just do like edit your own story of your 2-week wipe on Rust and like give it a title and like edit it like a little TV show kind of thing. Like,
dude, I shout out to there's a YouTuber named Stevie. And like he does that. He puts out movies, hour and a half, 2-hour long movies of the wipe with full narratives, great writing, cinematics.
Yeah, that's sick.
It's insane.
I love that.
Anybody who like really wants to know what the Rust experience is, just look up Stevie Rust on YouTube. Shout out to Stevie.
Sick. I love that. Yeah, I was like, there's no way I'm the first person to come up with this idea in like, I don't know, 25 minutes of us talking about Rust.
No, it's been going.
That's
like,
so sick. No, that's cool, man. And it's been out for like years and years, right?
Years, so long.
That's crazy, dude. I mean, like, I'm happy for it. Again, like, I know you're a huge fan, and I have some other friends that are fans of it as well. It's like, it's dope. It's really cool to see games getting that opportunity to kind of like what an increase of funds to their like just to their bank. You know what I mean? Like to allow them to maybe do shit that they didn't think they'd have like the financials to be able to do. Right?
I mean, I hope so. Like the game has its issues. And hopefully this little cash infusion. I don't know, apparently they've made like multiples of millions of dollars.
I bet, yeah.
Like maybe now they can like afford to really. I don't think they were hurting on money before, honestly.
I'm sure, yeah,
but
yeah.
Maybe now there's gonna be a push to really make this a really performant game.
Mm-hmm. Is that the issue? Like the performance is spotty?
Nowadays, it's pretty good, but like maybe if you'd have asked me that question like last year, I'd have been like, oh my fucking god.
Yes, the performance is an issue.
Like there is a point where like, because my out of date 1080 Ti was not out of date like a year and a half, 2 years ago. But like I'd still play on like low to potato mode. Like the lowest setting is literally called potato in Rust.
Amazing, yeah, that's sick.
And like if I broke 60 frames, I was happy.
Amazing. Well, but now it's significantly better than
yeah. Now on the same rig, I'm playing on close to max and getting 60 frames. So they've done a lot of improvements. There's definitely networking improvements that need to be made. But
as with every game that comes out, right? Like I've been playing through Cyberpunk since I got back, and let me tell you, like it's super fun, and I want to get immersed into the world, but there's so many little bugs that pull you out of the immersion that it's like I jump back into Assassin's Creed because I'm like gonna wait for the next big patch for Cyberpunk to come out, just because. Not that it's unplayable, because it's certainly very, very playable and really, really fun. But I want to get more immersed into it, and I just hope that the next big patch like fixes a lot of the jank. So you can really like just sit down for hours and absorb yourself in the world. Like that's what I'm really hoping for.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until it's like 100% a solid finished game.
Oh yeah, I would wait till the summer,
and then hopefully I'll have my new rig and I can put it on 4K 100%. 120 FPS, just like fully dive into that world. That'll be sick. But like, I mean, that's everything. Not that Cyberpunk is unique in being a AAA game that has a bunch of jugs. I mean, the game does have a lot of jugs.
The game does have a lot of jugs too. That's very true. But so Rust does not stand on its own in needing a bunch of work. That's for sure. We can all hope that that's the day that comes when great games come out and are actually finished and run very smoothly and optimized and very little bugs and all that kind of stuff. But
right.
I don't anticipate
as computer performance increases, like people are just gonna not care about optimization. Computers are gonna be so fast. It's like, I don't give a shit about optimizing my game. It's going to run anyways.
That's very true.
That's going to be a weird time.
That is a weird thing, yeah. Oh, man. Amazing. Do you have more to talk about on Rust?
I mean, if you haven't played it and you're on the fence of playing it, just play it. It's going to be extremely frustrating for a while.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't know anybody or have anybody to play with who knows the game, it's going to be horrible.
That's why I need you to show me the ropes, dude. Yeah. It's had the worst time.
But give it a shot. It's fun. I think you best described it as like every wipe you craft your own story. That's the best way, absolute best way to describe it.
Hey, look at me, dude. I know things.
Yeah.
But we'll try it this week. And again, next week, we'll probably be able to have a little bit more of a detailed conversation or a back and forth conversation. Because I'll actually know something about what the gameplay is like and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It'll actually be interesting to get the viewpoint of someone brand new, never played it once in their life, to someone who knows the ins and outs. It's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Awesome, buddy. Wonderful conversation. As always, it's nice to see you again. I missed you, baby.
I missed you too.
Guys, thank you for tuning in to episode number 38.
30 something. That's for sure.
30 something. 38, the Hotfix podcast. We do appreciate it. thank you guys for tuning in. We are back to posting each and every Monday. So if you guys are enjoying the content, please like, subscribe, comment, share, all that wonderful stuff. And we'll see you guys next week. Appreciate it.
And join the Discord.